I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman trying to kill herself. She says, I don't know why I tried to do this, and by way of explanation tells her life story. We are in book 2. Previously in Do the Wrong Thing, Ava moved to a new house and made a few friends. Before I get into the next part, I want to revisit the trigger warning and icky sexual encounter scene. Thanks for all the feedback on that. So how is this version? Is it more believable? Is it still impactful? I won't read the ABC, I'll just read the C. That scene where Ava and her mom and dad are standing outside the apartment she's been living in for the summer. Bye, I say to mom. Her eyes are full of tears, worry, not sadness. She doesn't think I can survive without the sins of the mother. How can the daughter survive without God and family when she can't? How will she survive without her daughter, her confidant and devotee? Was her confidant and devotee. Is the daughter escaping? If so, the daughter will surely succumb to sin. I turn to my father. His eyes are full of tears, sadness, not worry. I never touch my father. My family barely touches at all unless it's punishment. When I turned 13, Dad started averting his cheek from goodnight kisses. Did he do that with Sandra and my brothers? Probably. Dad and I look at each other through lacrimal veils. We rush together and embrace, mouths finding each other's, tongues touch. I draw back, or we both do, I don't know. Mom is staring past us, her face doing that thing where if it was hands, they'd be ringing. Sandra slams through the gate. Robin wants to get going, she says. This house by the L curve. So I've already gone through this part. There's the description of Ava's new living arrangements, the part where she has her canker sores, not making sense in her French essay, her new roommate, John, and descriptions of his friends. And then the chapter continues. He huffs and sighs, obviously studying hard at his carol. He runs his hands through thick black curls. He's never shaved. His shoulders are wide and he's light on his feet. I see this when he gets up. There's a slouchy grace and electricity to him. We catch eyes one day and now he's looking at me too. We both look away when we see the other looking. I'm entering the library, he's leaving. Neither of us looks away this time. Hi, he says. He doesn't smile. Hi. Oh my God. Until this moment, I'd never seen his eyes close up. Black, but brilliant. Wells on a day when the sun is so strong it reflects off the water an array of, no, stronger than that. Like someone is beaming a strong, hard, precise flashlight directly into my eyes. I walk slowly and stiffly. I don't want him to turn around and see how he's blinded me, how my hips sway uncontrollably. We have overlapping friend groups. He's a theater student, I hear. I see him in the humanities cafeteria, which is different than the one I went to last year. It only sells drinks, snacks, and a few cello-wrapped meals, but it's much busier. 2-story high glass walls flood it in sun. A meeting place for off-campus art students. At lunch, it's cacophonous with conversations. I watch the different groups evolve, merge, and split up, see who was invited to sit and who can only stand at the side of a table or who doesn't want to sit. The theater student and I continue our looking game there. It's only a matter of time before we talk and John and I get drunk. We fuck. John says he remembers the first time we met. Your nipples were hard and pointy beneath that green t-shirt, he says. Loud shouts. I look up to see 2 guys across the cafeteria by the exit. Wait, is that the theater student? And the theater student pulls his arm back and punches John in the face. The cafeteria goes silent. The theater student stalks off and John rubs his face, looks around, then bends down and picks up his glasses. The theater student stops looking at me. There's no way this has anything to do with... I'd ask John, but underneath his prissiness, there's an anger. I wouldn't want his fist to escape the tight wrapper he keeps himself in, spoiling into me. John and I got drunk, that's all. John isn't handsome like the theater student. Could the theater student really have punched John? No, that's ludicrous. Next chapter, Jobs and John. They'll give Ruby the job, I say to Bill at lunch. She's bubbly and outgoing. I wouldn't be so sure, Bill laughs. Bill works at the library, though not in rare books, where I've applied. Who was that guy Bentley? I changed the subject. Who was at Kylie's? Bentley is dating Kylie, Gerald, who's sitting beside me, intones. He always sounds like the words he's saying disgust him. I sip my coffee, nod, and try to mask what I'm thinking. Short, chubby, Kylie? Bentley was addressing me on Friday night when he was talking about Hegel, addressing all his comments to me. He was looking at me, and that way guys do when they're interested. Oh, shit. Apparently, they're really, Carolyn begins her comment in an imitation of Gerald's deadpan sarcasm, but switches it to a question halfway through. Into each other? I responded. I let my eyes open up and didn't even try to hide how attracted I was. I would have went home with him. I might as well have said out loud, my place or yours. Well, it would have had to be his because of John. I dart glances at Carolyn, Gerald, and Bill. None of them seem to suspect what I'm thinking. He's her TA, Gerald adds. Thank God for John. Maybe someone is telling Bentley right now, Ava's dating John. Though it's hardly dating what John and I do. Kylie wants him to move in. Gerald side glances me. Did John see me look at Bentley? He was sitting at an angle from me. I don't think he could see my face. John, standing between me, humiliation, and wow, says Carolyn, laughing hesitantly. Isn't that soon? Well, apparently Bentley broached the subject, drips Gerald. Short, chubby Kylie? Over me? John and I decide to leave the house, go on a date. I want to see Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars, but John wants to see War Games. We argue about it, then decide to go downtown, watch our separate movies, and meet up at a bar afterwards. I take the elevator to the top floor. Rare books. You'll dust and line up books flush with the front of shelves. You'll put books back when people are done with them. Mainly, you need to be around to keep people from stealing or abusing materials. My new boss repeats what he said in the interview. I nod enthusiastically. They chose me over Ruby. 6 shifts later. I'm in the temperature-controlled room staring at a tome so old it should be crumpling. My cleaning rag hangs from my hand like a dolly clock. I take the book from its shelf. Published in the 15th century, sections start with large illustrated letters. You can see the penciled-in lines where the scribes marked out the pages. Incredible. I guess they crammed their letters and lines so close because paper was expensive, but why did they leave so much white space towards the spine? Did rats start eating the glue, then work their way towards the outer edges? That smell. Ancient paper, glue, leather. I can hear my breathing. I can hear my heart pound. I hate my job. I tell Carolyn and Bill in the cafeteria, and they laugh. I'm going to do absolutely nothing until they fire me. They won't, Bill drawls. You'd have to destroy something, like a really rare book, but then you'd be on the hook for the cost, or maybe you'd even be charged. He chuckles. My boss is a thin, drooping man with a pockmarked face. Proudly, shyly, he hands me a book of poetry he's written. Slim and yellow, Thinking is embossed on the cover in a silver Russian-looking font. Thanks, I say, flipping through. Return it whenever you're done, he says, adding in what he obviously thinks is a generous offer. Keep it as long as you like. That night, I read what to me is prose stilted into 2- and 3-word lines, strategically placed about the page. The woman is more beautiful than the sea. Her eyes shine like dark water. Her body glows naked for me. I imagine my boss, then the woman for whom he'd written this, doughy, colorless, face permanently falling in a frown and surrounded by lifeless, mousy frizz. She lights up when anyone pays her the least bit of attention.